I'm back, bitches. When coming back to making videos, I knew I had to make something special. Something no one else would dare do. So, I found the nearest source of torture and endured it for your pleasure. For those unaware, One Room is what I would call a romance bait show for lowly middle-aged dudes who think going on a date with an anime girl is the greatest pleasure in life, as the show uses both interesting camera angles and the only character of each segment being your quote-unquote date. This is accompanied by each character being fit with some sort of scenario, with among these being meeting a new neighbor, a sister checking up on you, and meeting with a childhood friend. A while ago, I talked about the first season, among other shows, and showed little interest in the show. So let's see if my feelings have changed, or if it's still as garbage as I remember.
A one, a two, a one, two.
So I'm gonna do something a bit different. The seasons are generally split into thirds where each character shines upon their respective segments, so instead of splitting this into seasons, I'm gonna split this into segments following each character, with first up being Ms. Haramachi Clover, aka Hanasaka Yui. Yui is a unique case for the series, being brought back in seasons 2 and 3 for segments, as well as being the first character we see and kinda the face of the series. In the first season, we see her as our new neighbor, who if I remember correctly, is studying for entrance exams. Yui and the mysterious off-screen character, which is implied to be you, because, you know, POV shows, do a few things together, including a nice trip to an onsen, and the character and her studying for her entrance exams. With it being again, and this is off of memory, because I'll be damned before checking the One Room lore again, shown at the end of her exams being accepted into her school or something. Yui also appears in the special, where it's literally just the opening scene, but all the characters are in swimsuits. I don't know why they made this, but if it's your thing, enjoy. But I can be sure it isn't my thing. In season 2 it's just more of the same, but because they can't really reuse the idea of exams, they just put a beach scene instead. I don't know who on the team did this, but they must have loved seeing Yui in no clothes, because like, there's a beach trip and another onsen trip. Okay, next. Finally is season 3 Yui, where there's a scene of them moving out of the apartments they've lived in for all of 5 minutes of screen time, and then the time skip. The time skip probably provides the most interesting scene, and no, not because it's good. Just because when watching, you quickly figure out what's happening, and it's weird. To explain, basically Yui had a kid, and brought it to the location at the beginning, or in the preview or something, where the original 3 girls, Yui, Natsuki, and Mocha, invite you, or something of that nature. Point is, I think I'm the first person to actually watch this, and I mean, I kinda wish I wasn't. Alright, next girl. Let's see, Natsuki is probably the most entertaining. Visiting from Japan's north, this character is a real oddball and creates some fun dialogue for us common folk to laugh at. Okay, I know that's the wrong person, but like, they are just way more entertaining than this One Room bullshit. One Room's Natsuki is a little sister visiting her big brother, who uses the opportunity to both be a bratty little shit and flirt with her older sibling. She constantly complains about the state of the house, and just as quickly as it begins, it's over, with of course a few shower scenes in the middle, ending with a note left by Natsuki and the curtains close on the experience of having a little sister that I could just get by leaving my room for the first time all year. Natsuki also reappears in the 3rd season, where she is shown to be a lot more emotional and discussing potentially moving to Tokyo, but because the episodes are so short, that's about all that can fit in it. Next! Mocha is different from the other two in that her only appearance is in this season, which starts with her performing on the piano, followed by a reunion of sorts, with her story being that she is the main character's childhood friend, and both reunite after what seems like years apart, based on the story. Most of the time is spent in Mocha's room, where she just talks. And don't worry if you thought the sexual innuendos are gone, because they are here in spades. Yeah, I prefer not to mention it and just tune it out, but it's more prevalent than seeing me in my room. which is pretty much all day, every day. Alright, next girl. Manori is an onsen worker, with most of the scenes being some form of dialogue between the main character and Manori in the onsen. Manori is shown to be one of the more reasonable girls, we'll say. At least compared to what I've watched so far. And this is shown by a show low of one bath scene, and for someone that works in an onsen, that's not too bad. Granted, I think they amend their mistakes by including many more in her reappearance in the 3rd season. But honestly, if you're watching 3 seasons of Wonder Room, does it matter at that point? We get to see some other areas as well, with there being a festival in the 1st season and her and the MC going out to build a snowman in the 3rd season. I also cannot remember for the life of me how Manori and the MC are related. They normally have some sort of connection, be it friend, neighbor, sister, so on, but like the My Anime List synopsis is not doing much. So I guess we'll just have to move on. He just calls you a pervert a lot or something. Next. Akira is a transfer student who transfers in and out of schools due to her parents or something. At this school we see her develop a relationship with the MC, who is the gardening club president. The two of them bonding over the club until it comes to a climax where Akira is stuck because of the rain and the MC helps her out, Hugh confessing feelings and such. This is definitely one of the more bearable segments, but this is Wonder Room, so that isn't saying much. Saya is the last new character in Wonder Room. Yay for finally finishing this mess of a series! For Saya, you wake up to her being in your apartment. From the dialogue, it can be figured that the MC is probably a high schooler, and Saya is a deadbeat who can't find a job. Across the time given to her segment, she is shown as incredibly flirtatious and incompetent. Because of this, the high schooler character decides to help her find a job. On top of this, the MC has some exams to study for, and yeah, that's the story. It's more idle dialogue between a character and the camera. Roommate is a little different from the rest of Wonder Room, being that whilst you get time with each man of your choice, you also get to see all 3 of them together. So with that said, I'm gonna go through my notes on each character, because I think it's more entertaining than the plot they provided. So, for the first guy, I put Bossman, Boulder Man, Look at Sky, whatever that's supposed to mean, and Blushing. For the second dude, I put Looks Like the Girl from Your Lie in April, Humble, Silly, Ninja, and Date Thing. And for the final guy, I put Nerd and Naked. Nice! Alright, that was Roommate. I hope you enjoyed. So yeah, that was Wonder Room and Roommate. It was probably the most miserable experience since watching Love Live. And seeing as that was only a few months ago, that doesn't mean much, but it's definitely something I don't want to do again. With that said, I don't really know where to go with this series, considering I don't want to go back to watching 8 to 12 series a month. But yeah, I don't know. I'll think of something. With that said, if you enjoyed, feel free to like and sub and whatnot, and if not, well, then don't. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!